California has long been the nation's leader in tackling environmental issues, but as we have been looking at the exodus of business after business after business to other states, well, some political leaders are calling for a more balanced approach. Today, in our series, Saving the California Dream, we talked to Assemblyman Cameron Smythe, who is pushing for a little balance.
Economic needs have to take priority right now because people need to get back to work. I have a front row seat, and we see that day after day, and trying to convince some of our colleagues that you can keep business here in California and the environment doesn't suffer. You have to strike that balance, and that's what we're trying to do in the legislature, is make sure that any environmental policies still take into account the economic impact. One of the real struggles we have is very few members of the state legislature have ever operated a business or run a business. And so it's hard for them to understand the difference between large corporations and small, and that overwhelming majority of businesses in California are the small mom and pop shops that are just barely surviving. It's my philosophy that if we want to support and we want to grow and continue to keep tuition at a reasonable level and to keep our teachers well paid and cops and firefighters on the street, what we need to do is broaden our tax base. And by doing that, we put more people to work, more people paying taxes, so then we can afford those services instead of squeezing the few that we have remaining and just forcing them out of the state.
All right, joining us now, our series producer on all of this who interviewed Mr. Smythe, Heidi joins us. Heidi, what's he doing?
You know what? He's a big proponent of the film tax credit, and the good thing about that is we've seen last year that film here in L.A. and California is up 15% in L.A. and commercial filming up 28%, and there's a direct correlation between the tax credit. So that's one positive thing. Anytime you put people back to work in this economy, that's a good thing.
Yeah, but is that enough, really? I mean, when we look at an economy that has a $13 billion deficit, really, film tax credit?
Yeah, you know what? Hey, anything that puts jobs, puts people back to work is really, really positive in a 12.5%, unemployment state.
Well, and you're right. And I was just actually pushing back on that one point. But I think the point that he's making and the one you're making is if everybody did their bit, right?
Yeah.
If everybody did their part, because you've been focusing on so many small business owners who are just doing their part.
Right. Absolutely. We have to come together collectively. There's no doubt about that. And it really is about saving the California dream. That's the whole point of this. That's why we are talking to different business leaders. And we've got a great one tomorrow that I can't wait to get into with the CEO of LegalZoom.
All right. And that's what I was going to, who is that?
He's John Suh, and he actually left L.A. kicking and screaming because if he just moved 4 miles north to Glendale, he'd save $1 million. And they literally paid him to come to Glendale when L.A. wasn't willing to negotiate with him at all. So it's going to be a great interview.
That's what Glendale's been doing.
Yeah, very smart. Very smart.
All right.